Hello everyone, this is R.S. Miller at the endtimenews.org and today is May 13th, 2014. The U.S. holds a massive nuclear drill amidst the Ukraine crisis. In a statement released by U.S. STRATCOM Public Affairs Office the other day, announced that the U.S. would be conducting a nuclear drill over the next several days. According to the statement, the U.S. Strategic Command will conduct Exercise Global Lightning 14 from May 12th through the 16th in coordination with other combat commands, services, and appropriate U.S. government agencies to deter and detect strategic attacks against the U.S. and its allies. Units included in the exercises are bomber wings that will fly approximately 10 B-52 Stratofortresses and up to 6 B-2 Spirit bombers to demonstrate flexibility and responsiveness in the training scenarios throughout the continental U.S. This exercise provides unique training opportunities to incorporate the most current technology and techniques in support of our mission. Continued focus and investment in our strategic capabilities allows U.S. STRATCOM to deter, dissuade, and defeat current and future threats to the U.S. and our allies, said Admiral Cecil Haney, commander of U.S. Strategic Command. The statement also said that Exercise Global Lightning 14 has been planned for more than a year and is based on notional scenario. The timing of the exercise is unrelated to real-world events. Although some may think that the B-52 Stratofortress is an antiquated aircraft, it has been updated multiple times over the course of its history. The B-52 Stratofortress is a long-range strategic heavy bomber capable of dropping or launching the widest array of weaponry in the U.S. inventory. The latest version, the B-52H, can carry up to 20 air-launched cruise missiles. Used for strategic attack, air interdiction, offensive counter-air, and maritime operations, its capabilities include carrying nuclear or precision-guided conventional ordnance, including gravity bombs, cluster bombs, precision-guided missiles, and joint direct attack munitions, delivering approximately 70,000 pounds of mixed payload both internally and on external pylons. It has a combat range exceeding 8,800 miles unrefueled, but can also be refueled in the air. The B-52 has high subsonic speeds of up to 650 miles per hour, or Mach 0.86, and can fly at altitudes of up to 50,000 feet. It also has low-altitude flight capability, augmented by its electro-optical viewing system. The B-52 entered military service in 1954 and is the longest-serving bomber in U.S. military history. The most recent update allows the B-52 bomber to meet the digital demands of modern warfare. This strategic nuclear bomber is expected to continue its service life at least until the year 2040. Although the Admiral had stated that this nuclear exercise was pre-planned and had nothing to do with the current world events, i.e. the Ukraine crisis, I think that this exercise should also serve as a warning to Russia that the U.S. is ready and willing, if necessary, to defend the country and our allies against any and all threats, including nuclear. Within the past 30 days or so, Russia has ordered its military to launch nuclear drills on at least 2 separate occasions as a clear and unmistakable warning to the U.S. and NATO. Additionally, they flew nuclear bombers up to the coast of California and a U.S. military installation on the island of Guam, as well as one bomber flying up to the coast of the United Kingdom and another allegedly violating Denmark's airspace. Whatever the case may be, both the Russian and U.S. nuclear drills should be viewed as an escalation of tensions in East-West relations, and it's not over yet. The crisis in Ukraine has taken a turn for the worst. In addition to the ongoing violence as Kiev conducts its military operations to retake certain eastern parts of the country, the Donetsk and Lugansk regions have held a referendum for secession from Ukraine and have asked Vladimir Putin to become a part of the Russian Federation. Kiev, the U.S., and Western allies do not recognize the legitimacy of the referendum, while Moscow states that it respects the will of the people in Donetsk and Lugansk. This is very much similar to the events which led to the annexation of Crimea into Russia and only serves to heighten the risk of a nuclear war with Russia. As if the potential for nuclear annihilation isn't bad enough, we are also facing global climate change, which could well end up producing catastrophic changes to the environment, to the food chain, and to all of us. Climate change is not some distant gloom and doom scenario. It is happening now.
I'm John Holdren, President Obama's science advisor, here to talk about the third U.S. National Climate Assessment that was released today. This assessment is the most comprehensive and authoritative account ever about how climate has been changing in the United States, how it's projected to continue to change in the future, and what can be done by public officials, planners, businesses, and individuals to reduce its impacts. The online report provides unprecedented detail on every geographic region of the United States and all of the most affected sectors of the national economy. And the contents confirm that climate change is not a distant threat. It is affecting the American people already. On the whole, summers are longer and hotter, with longer periods of extended heat. Wildfires start earlier in the spring and continue later into the fall. Rain comes down in heavier downpours. People are experiencing changes in the length and severity of seasonal allergies, and climate disruptions to water resources and agriculture have been increasing. Across the country, regions are experiencing climate change in different ways. For instance, communities in the Northeast are affected by heat waves, more extreme precipitation events, and coastal flooding due to sea level rise and storm surge. In the Great Plains, rising temperatures lead to increased demand for water and energy and impacts on agricultural practices. Drought and increased warming in the Southwest foster wildfires and increased competition for scarce water resources for people and for ecosystems. Scientists who study climate change confirm that these phenomena are consistent with the ongoing changes in global climate, which we know with very high confidence are being caused mainly by the increase of atmospheric carbon dioxide and other heat-trapping gases released by human activities. When President Obama launched his Climate Action Plan in June 2013, he made clear that the information in this new National Climate Assessment would be used to inform efforts at the federal, state, and local levels to increase preparedness for and resilience against the impacts of changes in climate that can no longer be avoided. I urge you to explore the assessment and to get informed about the climate change impacts underway in the regions where you live by visiting whitehouse.gov/climate change.
Friends, in the book of Luke, chapter 21, Jesus gave us clear signs that we should look for, which will be indicators as to when Bible prophecy is about to be fulfilled and the return of Christ. In verse 8 he said, "Take heed that you are not deceived, for many will come in my name, saying, I am he, and the time has drawn near. Therefore do not go after them. But when you hear of wars and commotions, do not be terrified. For these things must come to pass first, but the end will not come immediately." Then he said to them, "Nation will rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. And there will be great earthquakes in various places, and famines, and pestilences, and there will be fearful sights and great signs from heaven." And in verse 25, he states, there will be signs in the sun, in the moon, and in the stars, and on the earth distress of nations, with perplexity, the sea and the waves roaring, men's hearts failing them for fear and the expectation of those things which are coming on the earth, for the powers of heaven will be shaken. Then they will see the Son of Man coming in a cloud with power and great glory. In verse 28, now when these things begin to happen, look up and lift up your heads, because your redemption draws near. And in verse 31 he says, so you likewise, when you see these things happening, know that the kingdom of God is near. But in Matthew chapter 24 verse 33, it's phrased a little differently. He says, so you also, when you see all these things, know that it is near, at the very doors. Assuredly I say to you, this generation will by no means pass away till all these things are fulfilled. And finally, in Luke 21:36, Jesus gives us the command to watch, therefore, and pray always that you may be counted worthy to escape all these things that will come to pass, and to stand before the Son of Man. We are living in the last days. All of the signs are unfolding right before our eyes, and it won't be too long before the Battle of Armageddon and the return of Jesus Christ. Are you ready? Are you saved? If you follow the link in the box below and pray the prayer of salvation with a sincere heart, you will be saved. May God bless you and yours.